Hello everybody, my name is Zenithcubs and welcome to more Pro Gamer Manager. So, I know this is a couple days late, and this was supposed to be out on Sunday or Saturday, and it should have even been one of the first matches of our League 1v1 tournament, but you see, that's kind of the problem. We had a bit of a hard time organizing the matches, and hopefully that'll be out at some point later this week. To make up for it, I will, if I have a chance to, post more than one video this week. And this one, if you notice, is actually a bit longer than most of my other videos, because sorry. It came down to we couldn't coordinate a good time, because we have a very specific first match, and well, that first match involved two people who, while living in the same time zone, decided that they didn't decide. The first time, they decided they needed it to be a practice. The second time, one of them had to go to bed because reasons known as ridiculously early bedtime. And the third time, it just didn't happen. Why? I can't really remember. But that aside, so we're gonna master a new champion in FOBA, obviously in Pro Gamer Manager, and yeah. So now we need to decide. If you didn't notice last time, there are the options of healer, utility, and sustain for supports, which kind of makes sense because supports. But we gotta take a bit of time to make this decision, because I am really bad at making quick decisions. At least when I don't need to make them quickly, it will take me a while. So we're gonna take a minute deciding, and yeah. Also, so a new update came out to this game, Pro Gamer Manager, that severely changes the... Well, no, I don't know how severely it changes the game, because I haven't actually played with the update yet. If you remember, this is all pre-recorded, and so none of... all these games come before that update, even though the update is already out by the time you're watching this, and that is for certain because they're already done by the time I'm narrating this, so yeah. But let's see. Update version 0.166 came out, and it includes being able to create your own character, which, if we ever go for a second round of this, we will most certainly do, because I don't know, I'm not into... I'd rather be American than British. That being said, that's mainly because I actually am American, not because I'm that proud of being American. I more likely would just make it closer to I'd like it to make it closer to myself. I mean, after all, you know, the initial version of the game, you didn't get an option. Okay, you can now actually, as of this most recent update, truly do a solo career, which in this one, we had I never had any intention of doing. I wanted to create a team and be the captain. Oh yeah, that sounds awesome. And we'll do that. We will most certainly do that. And I say that having been already played through, like, the first 7 or 8 episodes, but mind you, they're not yet narrated because I have lots of, well, more like I have practically no free time. And that's not sarcasm, I actually do have surprisingly little free time. But, yeah, so solo career is now really a thing, because they changed the rankings, which I am interested but in this, and how they've changed it, but it won't affect any of this gameplay, because reasons. Also, I noticed my Steam was in a very unprofessional fashion, kind of sort of popping up there, and while I can't really fix that now, it's a bit late to, we still can get that fixed in future episodes. And hopefully we will. Okay, so next on the list of changes, part of the solo career mode, you can apply for a FOBA team and get contract offers. Now, in this campaign of the game that we're playing through, we won't do that. We're not going to do that. We're going to create a team, and we're going to be the captain of the team, and we're going to hire people. And in fact, if I am correct, based off of the expenses of having a team, we're probably going to get game over the second I start recording this again. Because I now understand how the game over works, which is something I didn't when I was recording. Because obviously, this was actually legitimately my first time playing this recording. By now, I've put some time into it on my laptop, since there only is one save file, and per device it's on. I have to play it on my laptop to have my own personal, non-YouTube kind of like playthrough of the game. And yeah, so they added contracts, and that's applying for contracts, and that's pretty cool. You can now attend team meetings, and there will be dialogue with your team, and that's awesome. That is actually that's really cool. I'm glad they added that, and that will it won't affect this episode or the next couple episodes, but it will affect future episodes because we are definitely doing that. Okay, it expanded the streaming options that, again, will not affect this campaign, but is still a really cool feature, and that will, in possible future outruns of the game, we will certainly do. Because if we get game overed, then we're gonna restart. We're gonna choose support again, but that's mainly because I'm gonna do support. I'm just gonna do support. That's what I main for almost every MOBA I play, with the exception being Heroes of the Storm, which I am so new at that I don't quite understand the whole bit about the game. Yeah, but we just won that last game, and that's pretty nice. We can play one more game before we have to go. Or, no, I forgot. Apparently we're gonna watch a game before we go to bed. Let's see. Okay, next on the list is that they improved the match UI, and I'm not sure what that means just as of yet, because I haven't actually tried out this, but we're probably going to find out, because you're always playing matches. That's kind of sort of the whole point of the game. Also, I'm not really sure what the point is of watching the pro players play. I'm trying to figure out what the learning does, but I can't. I don't know as of right now. So until I do, like, I have not actually been doing any of the Watch Pro plays on my personal game, but remember, this was pre-recorded. I had no clue of the game. This was jumping into it rather blind, and I'm surprised we did so well for a blind run. And yeah. So that's that. The next on the list of things they added to the game is you can actually now pick your champions, if I understand that correctly. That is actually really good because it means that you need to learn what champions are what. This will make it so that you can't just be paying half attention to what champion your character picks, because you'll have to remember, oh yeah, this champion works, this champion doesn't, this one does this one does that, all that kind of thing. And I think that's really cool. Let's see. Or at least if it is what I think it is, that's going to be really cool to play with. They added more details after the match, and I am glad about this because while, like, as we're about to see once I make the second decision for the match, yeah, come on. Do it, self, do it. Yeah, okay, there we are. Once the end screen pops up, I'm not sure what exactly these bars mean. I know it means that we gained experience in it, but does does every time we fill a blue bar mean we gain 1, or is it that the bar is how high it just generally confuses me. I do not understand how to read those bars. They should have very specific numbers, because numbers are a bit, like, maybe even, depending on what it is, possibly have numbers and bars. That could work. But just bars does not help me. It confuses the F out of me, and I'm not sure what to do with it. It just all around feels a bit odd. So, that's a good thing. That's a nice change. I like the sound of that. They added a FOBA champion tier list. That is pretty big, because now that kind of forces solo players to mix up their champion pool a bit, because it kind of forces you. Oop, that's nice. We got a win, but it kind of forces you to play with some of the higher tier champions or suffer a bit in terms of your wins and losses. And that could be really significant, so and it's just all around, it makes sense, it's a good change. We have now unlocked streaming. That's fun. We'll try that tomorrow, or, no, we'll try that right now, why not? And we'll stream FPS. Or do we want funny games? Or survival? No, we want or maybe we don't want to stream. No, we just want to play FOBA, okay. You see, I'm pretty sure what was going through my mind while playing that is I was thinking, wouldn't it make sense for our streaming player to play FOBA while streaming? But I guess that's not how it works, since we already have fans and we haven't been streaming yet. Also, I guess we'll find out more about that if we do a future run through the game after this update came out, because they added more streaming options. That was earlier on. I think I mentioned that already. And they actually, the last bullet point on the update changes was that they added a house upgrade, and I'm not sure what that means, but it could be like furniture upgrade, could be room expansion. We could have a second team. Also, if you notice for a second, the game's audio itself cut out, and that is because while playing this through, I actually didn't realize, but I had my mic plugged in, and I accidentally said something out loud, and you could kind of pick it up in the audio. And it's not like I'm afraid of you hearing me speak when I'm not expecting it. It's more like I'm not worried about my own voice, but I don't want to be overlapping with myself, because that would just be confusion. And also because there could potentially be at some point, it could be not my voice, but somebody else's voice being picked up. And that's because, obviously, well, no, I guess that's not obvious, since, I mean, it's not like anybody would know this. Well, no, I doubt very few people would know this, but, well, I mean, it's not that uncommon, so you could probably guess, but I don't live on my own. There are other people who live in the house I live in, namely my family, and my family. Yeah, my family. I'm not sure why I said that a third time, but it's nice that we won, and we have 2 or 3, I think it's actually only 2, more games, and then we're gonna end the episode off. And typically, I could have cut this short at 14 minutes, because that is closer to 15 minutes than when this will end, but I figured, you know, we're a couple days late. We can extend the video a bit. That'll kind of somewhat make up for it. And hopefully it does a bit. I really need to get better at remembering to get this stuff done. I know I'm not gonna upload this on when I do the narration, not right after, but I will upload it within the next 24 hours. So, yeah, and I will also try to get a new video out for you tomorrow. And with that, we're closing up here. We're just checking our gamer profile, and then we're gonna check our ranking.